Welcome back to the program. It's still the Afia Morning Show, reaching you live this first day of September 2025. My name is Nathalie Uko, and of course, a lot of content coming your way. But as always, we start with the newspaper headlines, news making the rounds, of course, in Nigeria. Ujoatumba is here. How are you doing? How was your weekend?
It was great. It was restful. Yeah, thank God. And happy new month.
Happy new month to you. So, how did you ensure that you got at least 48 hours of proper rest before coming to work?
It wasn't 48 hours there. It wasn't for, but at least I had rest and did all that stuff I needed to do, right? You know, so just here and there, but at least I rested. That's the most important thing, yeah.
That's right. Okay, Barrister Chidi Ujoatumba has successfully finished attending the NBA conference, and of course, he joins us back on set. Status quo restored. Barrister Chidi, good morning.
Good morning, Natalie.
How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. Happy New Month.
Happy New Month to you as well.
Morning, you're shining, no?
And you too.
I think this is your NBA conference.
It was a total overhaul, a total reform.
So relaxing.
Yes, we achieved a lot.
Is that a new suit?
No.
I've seen him wear it one time.
All right.
I've been wearing it.
Okay, let's take a look at the Punch and, of course, other dailies this morning. We'll begin with the Punch. Rivers LG poll. Atiku demands annulment as weaker reassets control. Fubara loses local governments. APC wins 20 local governments. PDP claims 3. FCT ministers control temporary. This is according to Rivers elders. Reps deny alleged planned showdown with Speaker. Northwest leads and FEC projects with 5.97 trillion naira. This is according to the federal government. On Daily Trust, 69 days after launch, farmers await federal government's tractors. Security, why I am pushing for official adoption of non-kinetic approach. This is according to Senator Buba. On the Daily Times, 2027 Tinubu's adoption stops no one from contesting APC ticket. This is according to Agungu. Also here, boldest story, pension, PENCOM DG, NLC president meet as Labour insists on inclusion. U.S. closes embassies in Abuja, Lagos today. Federal government denies bias allegation, says Tinubu fair to all Nigerians. Nigeria's broadband penetration falls to 48%, 2025 target in jeopardy. Ex-IGP Arase dies at 69. NGX extends a bearish run as investors lose 439 billion naira in 1 week. On Salient Times, Rivers Council polls, APC wins 20, PDP 3 as state's eyes end to emergency rule. Man hired assassins to kill his ex-wife's husband in Naija. Dapo Abiodun, GD's war, Ogun Cop warns against politics of bitterness. Mob burns woman alive over alleged blasphemy in Naija. Fake lawyer with 10 years experience arrested in Ogun. Don't give your 2027 presidential ticket to Jonathan, Keyamo warns PDP. I am sorry. NRC MD Opipa bows to pressure, apologizes to Nigerian journalists. On The Nation, Idris, federal government projects spread fairly among 6 zones. Health security systems reinforced to combat disease threats. APC sweeps to victory in 20 rivers councils. And bandits being appeased by government, El Rufai alleges. Tinubu, Okpebolo, Ebetokun, others mourn ex-IG, Arase. And lastly here, 12 ISWAP fighters killed in Borno, 16 die in Zamfara, both accidents.
Starting from New Telegraph. Capital project distribution equitable to all zones, says FG, says Northwest biggest beneficiary. Rules out sabotage in Abuja Kaduna train mishap. Unveils new curriculum for basic, senior secondary technical education. Union Bank of Nigeria completes merger with Titan Trust Bank. CBN banks lending to Agric up 22.7% to 3.17 trillion naira. 1 killed, over 300 farmland submerged as heavy flood hits Nasarawa. Ripples over Sultan's justice is purchasable comment. How injustice, corruption in judiciary can be tamed by lawyers. Rufai. There may be 2 rounds of 2027 presidential election. Zoning rekindles politics of North-South divide ahead 2027 poll. International Day of Disappeared. 23,659 people still missing in Nigeria, attributed to ICRC, says behind every missing person is a family living in pain. Nigeria records 16,000 suicides annually, says Senator. Moving over to The Guardian. Raw materials crisis threatens industrial revival, Nigeria first policy. Article cries foul as Wike recaptures Rivers grassroots Fubara politically adrift. UNICEF, NBA push for reforms to end child detention. Dangote turns to Ghana for crude, denies shrinking production, RFCC issues. From share nut to global markets, positioning Nigeria as a global player in the $500 billion cosmetic industry. A call to Mr. President. You can catch that right there at The Guardian. Moving over to Daily Global. Presidency, not marginalized in federal projects. Dangote Group commiserates with FINA over Ruth Otabors' death. Troop of OPHK neutralized 12 terrorists, recover assorted arms, ammunition in targeted offensive operations. Police foil kidnapping in Akwa Ibom, Nasarawa, recover 6.9 million naira arms. The power of collective action, a call for petition against corruption. Former police IG Solomon Arese is dead. How Osimbajo clashed with DSS over Showori's detention. Shoyinka Cardoso back Nigeria Brazil cultural renaissance. PDP eyes consensus option at national convention. Moving over to Daily Independent. Loan defaults bites as headwinds threaten banks' profitability. Experts lament Nigeria's untapped ethanol gold mine, says billions of dollars lost to imports, job, energy security. ADC blasts police for attempting to criminalize opposition activities. Tinubu has been fed to all sections of Nigeria, says FG. 27th anniversary, PDP still vibrant force even in opposition, says governors. Rivers LG pose awful absurdity, travesty to elective democracy, says Atiku. APC wins 20 local government areas, PDP claim free. Minister hints on linking Abuja to Warri Ajokuta train services. NRC debunks sabotage in Abuja Kaduna train derailment. Pension funds investment may double over alternative options. Moving over to this day, the last one right here. FG Northwest, not Southwest, has lion's share of Tinubu's budget office release data, says reports misleading. With 5.9 trillion naira, Yakubu maintains not marginalized, describes reports as statistical error, deliberate incitement. Idris insists Tinubu fair to all sections of Nigeria, lists key projects in every region. Chatham House corruption undermining Nigeria's economic growth, eroding public trust, says government interference, inadequate funding, hindering anti-graft war. And Keyamo, PDP in legal brisk, fielding Jonathan in 2027. Lastly, El Rufai, Tinubu will come third in presidential election, accuses Obasani of disrupting ADC meeting in Kaduna. NSA facts on fight against banditry disapproved El Rufai's false claims.
All right, Thank you, Oji, for those headlines. I mean, really interesting ones, but we'll start with Rivers, where a lot seems to be happening. Now, APC has swept 20 of the local governments.
23.
Right, and we're seeing Atiku now calling for annulment, saying that this is a big travesty to anything in Nigeria. I mean, he's quite shocked at the outcome and saying that Nigerians should come together and reject the outcome of the election by the occupation government, as he described it. You know, the election was conducted by a sole administrator. Now, it appears that the FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, has regained control of the council areas. Even the ruling party, PDP, could not even get at least 50% of the councils.
Is it not obvious now where we know, like, it's obvious now we know where he stands.
Exactly.
And the party he rolls with.
Exactly.
Quite interesting.
Even the three
PDP.
the three PDP people that were allowed to win under
Allowed
the
to
umbrella of PDP,
Yeah.
they were also Wike loyalists. So you see, he's both in APC and also both in PDP. So this is what the declaration of state of emergency is all about. We are now seeing it. It's playing out, Oji. It's all playing out. Okay. Fubara is coming into power in the next couple of weeks, so he's going to come there as a kind of as a puppet,
like a ceremonial,
a ceremonial governor. Ceremonial governor.
Furniture.
They also have the commissioners and everybody. They also want to take a majority of the appointment of the commissioner. You can understand what they agreed on when they had that peace park. So this is what the whole declaration of state of emergency is all about, is to capture Rivers State. And Nigerians, we are not fools, okay? You can't take us like fools. You declare the state of emergency, and an undemocratic government that is not supposed to do anything for that 6 months. They're not supposed to do anything. I pray that Fubara and PDP in Rivers State will have the guts to go to court and challenge this local government election, because the election, the person, or rather the people that conducted the election, they don't have the constitutional power to do that. They don't have the constitutional power to do that.
Do you see Fubara going back into office? I mean, we're seeing news that the emergency rule might be coming to an end soon.
Yes.
In fact, certain factions are giving us there's possible dates that they will come to an end, right?
Yes.
So are you seeing Fubara getting back into office and heading straight to court? Do you see him doing that, since you already described him as some kind of he's going to come in as a ceremonial
My problem
head?
with him is, even before his wings were clipped, okay, he's not the type that, fights very, very strong, tough. Maybe because of the circumstances that surround his, picking and being made a governor and all the deals he entered with Wike. I don't know, but he's not fighting. You don't have that kind of spirit, Wike's spirit, to fight back. If he's that type, I would have expected him to, immediately he gets back to office, he moves straight to court and then challenge that, what do you call it? The election that was just conducted. You have to challenge it, and also challenge the rule of the emergency government that have been in place for the past 6 months.
The ball is in you guys' court. You guys just concluded the NBC conference.
NBA,
sorry, I beg your pardon.
You want to go for the other before you put us in trouble? No, there's such a thing as NBC, but that one is more about brands than
okay.
I'm talking about, that was Nigerian Broadcasting Commission, right?
Okay.
So the
that was
NBA
the Niger branch chick. You keep climbing this hill.
I'm not that one, please.
Okay.
That wasn't in my
You
head.
said broadcasting.
What was in my head was
continue.
Broadcasting Commission, right?
Continue. Go ahead.
But the ball is in your court. I'm talking about the institution, the judiciary right now. With the judiciary, at this point, because there are going to be a lot of litigations.
Yes.
There's no how there wouldn't be, right?
Definitely there should be.
From the conference and all the conversation had and everything that needs to be put in place, I know on the forerunner is one of the conversations there definitely is going to be what happened in Rivers State, right? And how to, enumerate whatever that happened there.
Did that conversation come up at all? That's, I think, did it come up? Did the issue of Rivers come up?
That's very important.
I mean, because we're assuming it did it? But before you respond, let's go on a quick commercial break. When the monitor returns, we'll get your response, and maybe you can, cast your mind back as to what topics really came up, and if that was one of them. The monitor returns in seconds. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the program. I mean, right before the break, Oji asked a really important question concerning the just concluded NBA conference in the state. Did the matter of Rivers at any point come up in the discussion, seen as the conference was moved from Rivers to Enugu as a result of certain undemocratic concerns? And
as they stated, so they are going back to Port Harcourt or Rivers State next year, right?
Yes.
By then, of course, Fubara would have been back in office, right?
You are aware that after the AGM on Thursday, we all agree that the next place where the conference will be held is Port Harcourt. Now, we did not structure any topic and called it emergency rule in Rivers State specifically.
Why not?
Because it's not proper. When we talk about democracy, when we talked about rule of law, those things were in part mentioned, but there's no caption that we should now utter, because what are you going to do? It has been declared, the matter is even still in court, so it's sub judice. So you can't, and the judges who are taking on the matter are there. The lawyers on both sides, they are there. So what are you going to say? When you come up on a platform of that magnitude, you highlight the principles of democracy, you highlight the principles of rule of law, and then you can apportion blame to parties or people who actually made it the way it is, or people who were wrong in the policy implementation or decision that they took. Because once we gather, we are gathering to uphold the rule of law, we are gathering to uphold democracy, and we are gathering to brainstorm in such a way that we can decide on various ways and means by which we can use to propel the vehicle of democracy.
I would have to draw parallel lines at this point. I mean, during the different visits by Mr. President to the different states in the region, there were calls, even by legal practitioners, for the issues concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's continued incarceration to be brought up at those engagements. I mean, why are we tooting a different horn now when it concerns Rivers if legal practitioners, as yourself, called for the governors to bring up Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case? Why didn't Rivers come up, even if just a little snippet of the conference?
I am not one of the decision makers, but I think the issue of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is long overdue. It's something that we believe that it may not be necessarily solved with court action. It's highly political. I think, and I have been advising that it is a situation that the settlement of that situation is better be sought outside the court.
That has been established.
Yes.
When Mr. President came to the States, when Mr. President went to Anambra, it was expected that during the stakeholder engagements that the issue would come up, right? It didn't come up, and we were quite critical about it. But then another conference was held, and that issue of Rivers did not come up, despite the fact that it was a major decision-making factor in where the conference was held. I mean, why aren't we doing what we ask others to do? What accounted for it's not being a subject, a topic of interest?
Taking the boldest step, and we have made the loudest statement by moving the conference from Port Harcourt to Enugu. It is a show of solidarity. It's a show that we are in support of democracy. The president of NBA, have, even starting from the day Mr. President made that declaration, have condemned that there is nothing that has happened that would make us to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State. And to buttress that, we took the convention out of that particular region and we brought it to Enugu State. So any other continuous discussion you're going to be having there is like flogging a dead horse, because the deal has been done. But Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in incarceration. The continued discussion could make something happen, but in the other way, the continued discussion may not make anything happen. It will not. The 6 months that have been declared as a state of emergency is almost gone. So we are looking at Fubara coming back, and then, so when we now put this on a burner, what do we intend to achieve at the end of the day?
But my question still remains, right?
All right.
The NBA conference is done and dusted. All the conversations had and all
there was
that.
A question you were.
The question is, there are going to be a lot of litigations. I guess this conference is meant to, get you guys have a mind shift, right, in saving democracy. Will the judiciary save democracy regarding first what happened in Rivers State and we'll call it an election?
Let me tell you what we really need to put, or rather all our intention into, It's central leadership. Look, the problem we're having, if the man who is conducting our election do not have the guts to come out to tell us that we should go to court, if the judiciary have not been compromised, if the judiciary, I was going through the internet the other day, I saw, I think in 1980 something, when a judge was removed from the office because I think either 20,000 naira or 20 naira, a very infinitesimal amount of money. This was the time when the central government, or rather the federal government, they do not interfere with the activities of the judiciary. The judiciary cannot stand on their own. They are not 100% independent. They are not elected. They have the propensity to be bought over. Let me tell you, if I am the head of the Supreme Court judge and you ask me to rig election for you, I will resign. By the time 6 of them resign, you will know that somebody is trying to do what? To bend the arm of the law. But here, they will receive the house in Atlanta. They will receive the bag of money They will receive different currency. They will receive in pounds. They will receive in dollar. They will receive in all currency, and they will pack it, and they will come and speak grammar, and they will wreck the entire democratic process. And that is where we are, because those things are made available for them. We need credible people to be appointed in the position of chief justices of the federation and also of the state, for them to stand up and tell politicians, we will not do this, we will not rig election for you, we will not rig election for you. So yes, I know that the executive are inducing them. We also need judges who cannot be induced. Now, when you are a judge, or when a president knows that, I cannot bend the arm of the law. The way this election turns out, if it gets to court, this is what the judge will say. When they know it and they know it right, let me tell you what happened. They will now look for a way to gain your vote legitimately. They will not look for a way to clinch power legitimately. Nothing like grab the box, kill this person, do that, because go to court. All those things are symptoms of a failed state. What it simply means is that they have bought over. Why do you think when the president is coming in, he will be lobbying for somebody from his own area to be the chief justice of the federation? Why? Go and check your record. Every time a president is coming into power, they will be plotting, they will be manipulating the judiciary to ensure that this is what's supposed to be the last hope of the country. Look, let me tell this to Nigerians. If we don't get it right this time around, more especially coming in 2027, Nigeria will implode. All the indices they are blinking on the dashboard. Nigeria will definitely implode. I don't care whether you're an APC, whether you're an PDP, or whether you're an ADC. If we continue to look at what happened in River State, just look at what happened in River State. So this whole shenanigan, declaration of state of emergency, is all to cling power. And those in power, they think that common Nigerians, they don't know what they are doing.
From critics,
it makes no sense.
Critics called River State election Wike's election.
It's Wike's election.
Right.
I want to ask you this question, sorry, on a subtle, right? These individuals you're calling out are this gentleman, learned gentleman, are your colleagues, right? How do you guys look at them? Like when you guys are in the conference, how are you looking at all those judges, and like, how do you guys look at them?
No, conference is an entirely different thing. You don't have to bring someone's.
I mean, like,
yes.
I mean, like,
we embrace them. We go, the legal profession is a regimented profession. Because of your year of call, because of your position, you don't go about insulting people,
I mean,
or
not like
flaunting it in their face. No, you embrace them. Some of them are still our colleagues. Some of them are still well revered. Some of them have given landmark judgments in different things. That's why I say that the executive is twisting the arm of the law. The executive is twisting the arm of the judges. If they allow them to give, if they allow them to give a good judgment without any inducement, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. But they will induce them with all kinds of things and even threaten them. You know what they do now? Pay something into your account, use that same thing to come after you at the end of this. So I am calling for those who are being appointed to be credible, to be transparent, such a way that the executive will not induce them. We snap pictures with most of them. We ate dinner with most of them. You understand? We crack jokes with most of them.
What did you have for dinner?
It doesn't really.
What did you have for dinner, Barrister Chidi?
Your mind.
What did you have for dinner, Barrister Chidi? When you had dinner with them, what did you eat?
There was a whole. It's like a buffet. You go, you pick your own things, and you get to eat what you want to eat that night. Everything is almost available.
All right.
We enjoy it. It was a very wonderful enjoyment.
Now, I realize that a lot of the dailies we saw this morning, it seemed as if they scattered around issues around the Dangote truck. That the impact led to the hospitalization of former BB Naija housemate Fina's sister, Ruth Otabors. Now she has been declared dead. She did die yesterday, according to the news. We saw the news online in the early hours of the morning. I think that according to the statement by the family, that was around 6:30. That would have been in the morning, because when they announced it, it was not 6:30 yet, so that should have been in the morning. And Dangote has, of course, released a statement signed by the management saying there were plans to fly her abroad to India for treatment. Before the death, waiting for clearance from the medical professionals. And, it's been a sad one, because Fina has been in the news, mixed reactions, different people say different things about, but now the ultimate has happened. Her sister is dead following that tragic impact from a Dangote truck. How do you feel about this development?
I feel very, very bad. As a matter of fact, immediately I finished law school, the very first case I handled was against Dangote here in Enugu. The guy was amputated. Okay, so then Dangote truck drivers are very, very reckless, allegedly reckless. They're very, very reckless, and people think that they are untouchable. Go and read the news. People think they're untouchable. We are even hearing this one because it got to do with someone who is placed high.
That's right.
Naturally, in 2019, a lady met a guy on the internet, on social media. The guy happened to be in Enugu here, while the lady is in Lagos. So they got talking, and to cut a long story short, she had to drive down here to meet the guy. And after the preparation and after the payment of dowry and everything, as the girl was going back to Lagos, a Dangote truck crushed her and she died on the spot. I was part of those that investigated the case. It was later settled out. So I would pray that someone should take Dangote truck or Dangote company to court. Okay, let them pay. They need to be well paid. They need to pay for the loss that they have caused on Nigerians. Dangote truck drivers, most of them are reckless. I don't know whether they are trained. We should look into this issue.
Let's look at the language of the statements by Dangote, and I would stress where it was signed and who signed it. Now, it was a blanket signature by the management. Do you think that such an incident, such a ripple impact, should have been personally signed by the Dangote owner himself? Do you think that this should not have been signed by management, but by the name of the person?
Yes, by the name of the
business?
By the name of the person, or
Why
probably
management,
him.
right?
I know that when this kind of thing happens, you know what they do? They throw money around. They try to settle out of court. They call all the parties and the family that are involved. You know, they try to see how they can settle them. But it doesn't really solve. It doesn't really solve the problem. Now, if you are bringing it up that Dangote himself should be the one signing that, it's good though. If we see his signature or even his passport there,
yeah,
it's good.
but
what about those that they have killed, whose news didn't come up to newspaper? I mean, how do we justify this? But let's face. Can you sign all of them? Let's face this one that has really happened. I think the family, I think the company or he himself should come out very well, not only to condemn what happened, but to ensure Nigerians that it will not happen again.
That's right. On that note, we'll draw the curtains on this segment of the show. Barrister Chidi, thank you so much for joining and waking us all up, as always.
Yes.
You know, whenever you come, just like the whole set is just shaking and you're not awake.
I was thinking that we're going to look into so many things that happened in 2007. Did you hear what Erufai said?
We heard about it, but we'll continue tomorrow.
Okay,
Don't worry.
Okay.
Just hold that thought.
He kept saying it, though.
Okay,
Right.
he kept saying it. But it's as if there's something backing him up lately.
This particular airtime is going to be paid for.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. All right. The morning show goes on a quick break now. When we return, we'll take regional stories looking at what's happening in Enugu ahead of 2027. What the former Labour Party candidate is saying about the governor of the state. The morning show returns in just seconds. Let's not spill all the beans. Stay tuned.